Welcome back to another Stay Connected podcast. It's your host, Leo Herrera, the Connected Golfer. I'm here alongside Jack Heath today, professional golfer. I played a ton of junior golf with him. Heck of a player, got the winner's mindset. Jack, thank you for being on the podcast today.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Thanks for having me.
So, Jack, I love starting the podcast with each one of my guests, just understanding where they got to the game of golf. How did it all begin for you?
So my mom had my brother. I was 2 and I was a runner. My mom wanted me out of the house. My dad was never really huge into golf, but took me to the range and I started hitting golf balls and the rest is history.
Nice. I love that. I mean, you played a ton of junior golf. When did you start that journey?
I think I played my first term when I was 4 and then really got into it.
4?
Yeah, 4. I
I
think
mean,
really
I've
got
heard
into it. I was like,
early
what?
age, but I think 4 is like the earliest I've heard.
Yeah, I remember I played with 2 girls who were like 15. I think I might have been the only person in my age division.
Do you remember that time at all?
I know the golf course. It was a golf course in Charlotte, um, but not really much about the day.
That's amazing, man. I mean, not
Yeah.
many people get to start the game that early or anything really that early and fulfill it. Like, how was that process of junior golf for you? How did it help you evolve as a person?
I mean, obviously, I'm very fortunate to be able to have started that early. I think it's taught me just a lot about life and kind of helped me grow up maybe quicker than other people in a sense, just in a mindset way. I don't know. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I really just enjoyed being able to travel with not travel with my buddies, but see my buddies every week. And, like you were saying, like seeing you or other people, our friends. It was fun. I mean, when you're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old and you get to drive around each weekend playing different golf courses and seeing your friends, there's really nothing better. I definitely wish I could go back in time to those days.
For real, man. I wish so too. I really cherish those moments. And looking back, man, I really wish we can go back and just relive them
Yeah.
because they're amazing. And the connections that you build, they last a lifetime, which is the beauty of it. And reflecting on your junior golf career, what were some of the key moments and achievements that helped you stand out as a junior golfer? Because you were, top ranked junior golfer.
Yeah. I mean, I had a good junior golf career. I mean, obviously winning the junior PGA was the highlight. I don't know. I mean, I think that people get too caught up in the rankings and stuff like that. I mean, I think junior golf is more just for play as much as you can and just trying to have as much fun as you can. Because now playing professionally, I mean, what I did 5, 6 years ago doesn't matter anymore. Those highlights are now I just remember them. They were fun, but it doesn't help me in Q school or Monday
Yeah,
qualifiers.
yeah, it's all memories, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wish I could go back in time and still play junior golf. It was definitely the favorite part of my life so far.
Dude, I want to talk about that experience at Kenny Park where you won the junior PGA. Could you walk us through, because you shot like 20 something under. And I mean, obviously, I thought the course was pretty gettable, I would say. But
Yeah,
to be able to go that low and maintain a lead like that, like, could you walk us through that experience? Because I would say that's probably one of the top events that you had.
yeah. I mean, the putter was hot. I mean, it was just, I shot like 65, 64, 68, 60. I think going into the back nine on the last day, I was like 6 back or maybe 5 back. I don't know. And then I bogeyed 10 was a par 5. And then I went par, birdie, par, eagle, birdie, 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 or something like that to finish. And ended up winning by 1. I just made a bunch of putts. I don't really like remember it. Like I was in such a zone that nothing else mattered and I was just blacked out.
Yeah. That's usually what people say when they experience like moments like that, especially like under pressure when they just perform at this extremely peak level.
Right.
You've been through that. How can you describe that feeling of like being in the zone when it matters most? When you know that like, dude, anything you look at is going in.
Yeah, it was kind of after I bogeyed 10. I do remember this. I kind of told myself, I was like, well, if you don't basically birdie out, like you're not going to win this golf tournament. And I just somehow my mind just clicked and I hit probably the best 7 holes stretch of my life thus far to this day. It was fun. I mean, obviously making that putt on 18, 40 footer to win was cool as well. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
even react when I made it. I was just more like, what in the world has just happened over the last hour and a half? Because standing on 11 tee box, I was not anywhere close to winning that tournament. But yeah, it
Pretty
was
surreal
awesome.
what happens when you just stay connected and just let things happen.
Absolutely.
And so, what were some of the things that helped you get to that moment? Because we know that it's great to talk about the good moments, but I'm sure you had a lot of valleys and peaks. But I mean, could you share a little bit about those valleys that you had to experience to get to that peak moment during your junior
Yeah,
career?
there were plenty of them. I was committed to Tennessee during my sophomore year, and then they had a coaching change. I decommitted and kind of went through a rough patch for about a year. Wasn't playing very well and was just struggling. And then kind of before my junior year, I just started working really hard. Um, Probably something I could learn from myself today. I put in a lot of time, and it paid off. I was playing so much golf. I don't think I had time for anything else for probably like a 6, 7 month period. Um, then that's just kind of when everything just clicked.
Yeah,
People will always say that, you know, I mean, working hard, obviously the results paid off. It was so worth it. And then, you know, COVID happened and everything else happened after that. And then you go through another valley and it's just all, golf's a weird game.
yeah, it really is. You never know what you're going to encounter, man. You just gotta like stick with it and continue to row the boat. But I mean, I want to go back still to that junior golf, those junior golf days, because I know there's a lot of pressure. At least for me, I experienced pressure in what school am I going to get into? Like, how were you able to manage all that pressure through the junior golf days to make sure you got into a school that you thought was like what really would help you get to the next level?
I don't really know. I've never been one to really feel that kind of pressure or nerves. I was very lucky to have background, my parents that were just like, dude, just go have fun and enjoy it. So, I mean, all I really wanted to do was win. I never really thought about the results. I was just more focused on each tournament. And I knew that if I practiced hard and did the things I was supposed to, that the results would take care of themselves. And it happened. And I think that's one of the most important things I still probably should take from myself this day is to just work hard and, everything will take care of itself as long as you do the right things.
Have fun. Yeah,
Yeah. I think having fun is the most important part. I mean, I think as soon as you stop having fun with it, golf becomes so much harder.
definitely. And did you have a role model or a mentor growing up that really helped you take your game to the next level?
Yeah. I mean, I had my coaches, say my dad, I had friends who, playing junior golf. You start playing at a high level early. You have friends or people that you kind of look up to that are older that you can kind of learn from. Even people like even our peers. I don't know. I would say for the most part, though, my parents and my coach, Todd Anderson, I've been with him for 6, 7 years now, and he's helped me tremendously.
Yeah. So going back and reflecting on those junior golf days, is there anything you would do differently looking back with what you know now as far as your training or your mindset goes?
I think that I probably would have played more golf tournaments. I think that I mean, I don't know how it is today, but people get kind of caught up in what tournaments are going to be good for their rankings and et cetera. I think that the more you play, the better, especially once you get to college professional golf, because, I mean, I'm on the road for 30 something weeks a year now. I think just getting in the routine of just playing as many tournaments as you can, learning how to travel can be a big help down the road.
Yeah, definitely. And after, junior golf, got into college, you played for a year. I don't know if you played a second year or not.
Yeah, I played for year and a half or 2 years. I played for 2 years pretty much.
Yeah. So what was that like? How was your experience in college? Because I mean, I can talk from my experience. I mean, I
Yeah,
went to D1 school and it didn't really meet up with my expectations. So I just leave.
and it was a lot different than what I anticipated going in. Obviously, being in California during COVID wasn't the area that was helping me get better at my golf game. I don't think we had practice or workouts or anything my entire freshman year, or at least no practice till the spring. So, being an 18-year-old and getting thrown out 3,000 miles away from home with no structure was definitely probably not the best thing for me or my golf. Probably was a good thing for, I don't know, maybe it was a good thing for like my personal life and whatnot, just kind of grew up quick. But yeah, and I transferred and went to other school for a semester and then just kind of had, I won't say enough of it, but was just to a certain point where I was like, I don't think this is quite for me, and decided to just pursue it.
Yeah. And there's an underlying message there because I mean we both played a lot of junior golf. We both had the vision of going to a top school and like this would be the place we need to go to really like get to the next level in our game. What's a piece of advice that you would give your younger self, maybe, a freshman or a sophomore in high school, going into, his tournaments and making his way up his rankings to get into a college based on what you know now?
I would say that I don't really think the college you go to is that important per se from a future like professional golf standpoint. I mean, there's plenty of people that I play with now that played small D1 golf or not even D1 golf that are still great players. I mean, and beat me half the time, more than half the time. Like, I don't think that it's that big of a deal. I think you should find somewhere that you enjoy, where you're going to play, and with a coach who, is going to believe in you as well.
Yeah, that's spot on. Definitely. Because I mean, I think there's a big misconception and you kind of touched on it twice where, throughout the process, you think you got to be doing things a certain way, but at the end of the day, you just want to be getting reps in to prepare for the big stage. Right now, you're at a point where now it finally does matter how you perform, and if you actually perform well and you know played up to your full potential, you could get a chance of playing on the biggest stage in golf.
Right. I think the more you play, the better.
Yeah,
If you can go somewhere and play all 4 years, it's much better than, you sitting there being like, all right, when I'm a sophomore, I'll be fighting for the 4 or 5 spot. Go somewhere closer to home and just get some reps.
yeah. So
I
now,
wish I had done that.
what does the day in the life look like for you?
It depends. Right now, I'm kind of in my off season, so kind of taking the past couple of days off. I was in Mississippi last week for trying to qualify for the Sanderson and didn't get through. Um, it just depends on my travel schedule. The past month's been crazy going back. I was over in DP or in Europe doing DP Q school and obviously PJ Tour Q school as well. So past month has looked a little different than usual, but starting probably tomorrow will be wake up, go practice, eat lunch, play 9 holes, and go get a workout in, and wake up and repeat the next day. Um,
Are you the type
but
that loves to do drills and stuff, or you like going out and
no,
playing?
no, I do most of my time is spent putting and chipping and playing golf. I don't really hit that many golf balls on the range. I'll probably sit and hit for 40 minutes max, but I spend all my time putting and chipping and
So talk
wedges. And
about that process, the transition from college to professional golf, because we all know it takes quite a bit of funding to travel all over the place to
yeah,
know tournaments to play, like the whole, putting together your schedule. Like, how were you able to organize yourself to now like know what you're doing, at least like tournament wise?
yeah, I'd like to think I know what I'm doing. Yeah, obviously I have a great support system of family and friends around me. This year was kind of my first year of really doing it. Like, wouldn't say like full. I also played last year as well, but this year I kind of did a lot of more Mondays um, than I had done previously. I think it's more so just kind of depends on your game and how you're feeling. I think if you're playing well, like I thought I was playing well this summer, so I did a lot more Mondays than mini tour events, just because obviously the goal is to be on Corn Ferry or PJ Tour for the next years. But I don't know. I mean, it just kind of depends. I mean, a lot of guys like playing a lot of mini tour events, and a lot of guys like playing a lot of Mondays. It just kind of depends on your preference and what you think is better for your golf game.
Yeah,
So,
I'm definitely more of a Monday guy. I think
yeah,
like for me, like if you're going to give it a shot, you got to give yourself the chance every week to at least be in that field. And, if you have a good day, you can make it. And,
Right.
it's not like it's the easiest thing in the world, but we're each going to have our hot day. So,
Correct.
it's a matter of hitting the jackpot, being at the right place at the right time. Like you said, playing tournaments, giving yourself more and more opportunities as you go.
Yeah, I think this all season I'll play quite a few mini tour events just to keep the game in shape. I think that a lot of guys like to take time off, November, December, January, and I like to keep playing. I know if I don't keep playing, my practice is going to suffer and et cetera, because I need something to practice for. I hate going out there and just having, I don't tournament for a month and a half from now. Like, there's no motivation there for me to do anything.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
you know,
So, dude, you've played at a high level from junior golf to college golf to now at professional golf. What do you feel like has been the biggest challenge you've faced now turning pro compared to your years before?
just how good everybody is. I mean, at junior golf, you can go out there and shoot 72 and it'd be a good day. Now, if you shoot 72, you're getting smoked. I mean, I think I shot 66 mini tour event Illinois this summer, and I was down by 8 after the first
Wow. Or
round. It's
58.
just, yeah, it's insane. People are so good, and just there's just so much talent. I mean, like I said, guys I've never heard of before that I'm like, this guy can hit the golf ball. Back in junior golf and college golf, you kind of know those people are, and now there's just so much talent.
There is so much talent. I mean, keep playing professional golf as well. I quickly realized that, and I was like, look, I mean, I know I got a lot of talent to play, and I'm always gonna consider myself a competitive golfer. But like from a career standpoint, I had to take a step back and really look at the bigger picture. Well, it's like I truly respect everyone that's giving it a shot and doing it. But I mean, we've filmed content together. You even had a page before that you blew up, and like you've been in that world of social media and content, and you see the opportunity. Has there ever been like a nudge to get back into that game and get into it as you play professional golf?
Yeah, I think it'd be something that I'd enjoy. I mean, I always enjoyed making content. The videos I've shot with you or with guys from Good and whatnot. I mean, I always have a blast. I mean, I like being on camera, and I feel like my personality is maybe good for it. I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place, and people find that entertaining.
Definitely entertaining.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think part of me, obviously, I want to be on the PGA Tour, so this is what I want to do. But I really enjoyed the content that I made. Definitely, if I had an opportunity in the future, 100%.
The future of golf is like changing so much now with like even at East Lake with the Creator
I know.
Classic, giving these guys an opportunity to play by the pros at the Tour Championship. It's definitely had me second guess kind of what my initial dream of playing on the PGA Tour was, and it's hard to get a grasp of like really what this lifestyle looks like. Even me, who's been through it now, and truly like really just trying to figure it out. For you, like you're focused solely on playing professional golf, getting it to the next level. What are some goals you have for yourself coming in for the next year, like that really helps you kind of just stay connected to what you got to be doing and not be distracted?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've got kind of two or three goals. Obviously, the first one is I want to have status next year, whether that's through Monday in or however it happens. Two, be like in the gym goal. I'm going to try and put on 25, 30 pounds. I think that'll help me out a lot. It's been so hard to this year with how busy, and I mean, I'm traveling every week to a different Monday, and I was going to Europe and back over here. So I haven't really had much time in the gym, but now I've got 3, 4 months where I can just really grind. So those are kind of the two. I mean, I think that my golf game and my practice and what I do is good. I think there's just the other outside stuff that I can be better at, whether that's, just taking care of myself, taking care of my body, and hitting the gym harder.
What are some of the things that you do to prepare your mind for professional golf and to play just at a high level?
Like I was talking about earlier, I just try and have as much fun as possible. When I go out there with my buddies on like a Wednesday afternoon, I have no problem shooting 63, just having a fun time. So I try and honestly, it's really all I try and do when I go play golf tournaments is just try to have fun and just tell myself that whatever happens, happens. Just stay in the moment and just enjoy it because you're very lucky to be able to do what you are doing.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to get into your mind when you go through a round of golf now, just to go through it with the audience. When you're going through a round, let's say you started high, you're 3 under through four, and this is the type of day where you can go out there and shoot that 63, that 62. How do you stay connected, to the moment and not let the birdies get in your head and put over emphasize the moment and put pressure on yourself?
just stay in the moment and just be calm. I think confidence is huge. You're 3 under through four. You're seeing putts go in. For me, usually whenever I get off to a good start, it's going to be a good day. So I never really get too far ahead of myself, and learning to go low is another big thing too. I mean, once you've done it enough, you kind of stop thinking about the scores. I don't know, even on like a bad day. And one thing I do pride myself in is that if you were to come out and watch me play golf, you would have no idea if I was 6 over par or 8 under par.
Yeah.
It's staying just mentally, just even. I think is huge. I mean, not getting too high or too down because so much can happen in 18 holes. I mean, there's been plenty of days where I've been 6 under on the front nine and shot even, and days where I was 6 over on the front nine and shot even.
Yeah,
So you just never know what can happen.
definitely. And you mentioned, get used to going low. I'm a huge advocate of getting people to like just play the red tees. Like go up there and learn how to go low. Do you ever do that when you practice?
I used to. Sometimes when I go out with my buddies to like Jack's Beach, Muni over here, I'll play the white tees with them, and it's 6,000 yards, and there's a lot of birdies being made. So I try and do that maybe once a week, but
So,
I think it does help.
in your opinion, what do you think is the one part of your game that really would help you go low?
Right. Recently, it's been the putter, which is weird because that was always my thing in junior golf. You probably remember that
I
was,
remember losing a
yeah,
lot than you in putting contest.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that was always my thing. I wouldn't hit the ball well, but I would putt it. And now I've been hitting the ball a lot better, and the putter's been struggling. And professional golf, it's all about putting. So everybody hits the ball the same. Literally, it's the Mondays are a putting contest.
Yeah,
So
and it's really like, I mean, observing you putt is quite an interesting thing because I mean, you don't have the best like mechanical stroke, I would say, but you just know how to putt.
yeah,
Like
it's just a feel thing.
hole, you see the line and you just hit it. Like how much of it is mental for you when it comes to putting?
All of it, 100%,
Like it really does look like it is. Like it looks like
a
you
hundred
just
percent.
and you just
Yeah,
better you see it.
I mean, when I'm confident, like not to sound, I don't think there's many people that can putt it better than I can when I'm putting it when I'm confident with the putter. But when it's not going well, it's not going well. So it's just trying to find that confidence back and just the consistency. You know, that's kind of the
That's
key.
the game, man. It's like
Yeah,
it's an up and down roller coaster. It's like how well can you stay, in the middle, like really not let yourself get too high or too low and go with it. So moving forward now, you have aspirations to get your status. What are some of the things that you're going to focus on when it comes to your mindset that you think are going to help you really like get to that next level? Because I mean, it does take it's the 1% of the 1%.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think like you said, or like I said, sorry, just staying in the moment, not getting too far ahead of yourself or beating yourself up too much. Because I mean, golf can really take a toll on you mentally, especially for me, like not getting through Q school, like just is brutal. I mean, so now I kind of got to reset, not be too down or, and just be like, hey, it happened, learn from it, move on because you can't change what's happened. You can only trying to change the future. So, probably approach this off season a little differently than last year. I kind of took some time off last year. I mean, I've taken like 3 days off now, but that'll probably be about it. And then time to get after it and kind of do some things I didn't do last year, like, get in the gym, make sure my body's where it needs to be come January, especially when you're traveling as much as I am. I think that I need to put more emphasis taking care of my body and you know, that hopefully be the game changer.
Yeah. So do you have a team around you right now that's helping you, get to that next level? Or is it just a one man show for you?
Yeah, I've got a small team. I mean, obviously, I've got coach, I've got a guy who I train with, and then my family and stuff like that. But it's small.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not one of the
that's
guys who
and your golf instructor basically.
pretty much. So I don't have a big team. I don't, not
Yeah.
really.
And it
I mean,
takes a lot of money for sure to
yeah,
like.
it does. Correct.
Yeah.
So, it's small and it's fine. But hopefully, this off season, I've learned a lot from this year. Like I said, I mean, never really knew how to travel the right way or, um, you know, now I feel like I've learned how to do that, which is, I think, one of the most important things.
Yeah.
So just taking what I've learned this year and moving on to the next one.
So I want to end this podcast on a good note. I can't believe we didn't talk about this in the beginning, but you qualified for the U.S. Junior President's Cup in Australia. Could you talk to me a little bit about that experience, going to Australia, representing your country alongside the best junior golfers in the world?
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the coolest thing I've ever been a part of. You know, being with, I mean, like I said, you travel with the same guys or like junior golf wise, you're with the same guys every week. And, when all 12 of you get on a plane ride to go to Australia to play a golf tournament together, it was an awesome experience. That golf course was unbelievable. Melbourne was awesome. Obviously having Justin Leonard as our captain was cool. And then obviously, we won and then hung out a couple more days and watched the pros play, and it was unbelievable.
What did those guys have in common that made them get to that level and get to where they were there? I mean, the junior golfers.
Okay.
We'll get to
I think everybody just worked really hard, and everybody also had a good support system around them. Like I said, I'm very fortunate to have the support that I did, but I mean, all those guys were just hard workers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just hard workers. So,
And what was the biggest difference between those guys, top juniors in the world, versus the top players in the world, the professionals that you got to see the week after at the President's Cup?
I don't think there's really that big of a difference. I think maybe ball striking a little more consistent and everything maybe just like 1% better. But I mean, golf's such a niche sport. The fine line between the 1% and people who don't make it is so small. So, I mean, I think that, obviously those guys are better than our team, but there's not much of a difference there.
Yeah, you just got to keep going, man. You got
Yep.
to one experience at a time, and,
Yep.
and you'll get there.
Yep.
Wishing you all the best. I know the guys listening here probably wishing you the best too. I mean, you got what it takes. Definitely, just stay connected to the process, bro.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate it. Good to talk to you. Hopefully we can get together soon.
Yeah, we'll play soon for sure. Get you on
Sweet.
the channel. Stay
Absolutely.
connected.
All right.
Appreciate
Sounds good, bro. Yeah, man.
it. Awesome. All right, bro. We'll chat to see when we can get together. I'm actually going.